Aaron? Where are you? Where is Aaron right now?
Here.
Finally! Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh? So why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a...
Are you through? Not even close, bud.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast. I'm your host, Dave Ribeiro from SteelersSanctuary.com. We got a full house today. David Cora, Bob Quinn, and Trent Ging are all here with us. We got a big announcement. Uncle Aaron is in the building. Finally. The decades-long wait is finally over. Well, it felt like decades. Boy, I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't be any more excited right now. This is as excited as I've been for a Steelers season since 2017, 2018.
Wow. Even more than
back.
I was pretty excited for 21. I didn't know because we didn't know it was Ben's last year till the end.
When we limped into the playoffs, we had to depend on the Raiders.
Matt Canada was still the OC then, right? No, I wasn't excited about that at all.
I was thinking Ben 2 years off the elbow was going to be really good, but yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
I don't know if you can see this, Relic, but in my T-shirt, I got Uncle Aaron. Let's go. Trent, what do you think about it? What's your initial thoughts?
It was a matter of time. I mean, I feel like I really didn't waver on the fact that it felt like he was going to be here. It was just kind of one of those things that everyone seemed to know, but no one ever said anything about.
What do we get Mitch about now that you're on? That's a great question.
There it is.
We're going to bench if you don't buy these shirts at the merch store.
Get them while they're hot, baby. Let's go. Get them while they're hot. Let's go.
Isn't this when we
has been ready for this moment?
Isn't this where we start moving back to bitching about wide receiver too? Like, isn't this about the bird?
It's in the,
all right, we got our quarterback. The goddamn wide receivers suck. Let's go.
Accept no Alan Lazard slander.
Yes. Oh, no. I thought you were going in a different direction with that. Yes, we will accept Alan Lazard slander.
Hey, what's the over-under before he's traded?
Who, Lazard to the Steelers?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm not gonna let that ruin my buzz. I'm not gonna do it.
They'll wait till
it happens.
They'll wait till cuts.
Yeah.
See if there's something better. At least I think.
Cousin Alan Lazard, I like it. Oh shit!
Hey, there we go, Zach. You
there you go. Trent's on the coaching staff again.
It took one phone call.
Quarterback
He's in the
coach.
building.
Yeah.
Darkness retreat coordinator.
Yes.
Hey, Mercedes Lewis may be 74 years old, Relic, but you know what? He can block.
That's all that matters.
Wide receiver too.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
How many wins differences does it make? Do you guys think it seriously makes between, say, Mason Rudolph starting and now Aaron Rodgers in the building? I think it's a 4-game swing, honestly.
I can see too. I mean, when we went through our projections, when we did the with and without Aaron Rodgers, I mean, we had some definite differences there. I'm sure Bob still has it charted somewhere, but I mean, there was definitely some differences between what we were projecting with Aaron and without Aaron. I think you got to say this is at least 2 wins.
That's what I have. I have it's 9-8 with Mason, and they're going to have 11 wins with Aaron.
See, I wasn't that optimistic with Mason. I think I had 7, and I think it's if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, it's 11-ish, maybe 12 if we're lucky.
They don't ever have a losing season with anybody. Doesn't matter who the fuck's the quarterback. So I just figured with Mason, the standard should be 9-8, and then now with Rodgers, I'm gonna say the ceiling is 11.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
I'm looking for it now. I know I saved it, but of course I can't find it. Wow,
you think 12 wins? 12.
I think they could do 12 wins if everybody stays healthy. That's the big. Yeah.
The most positive thing I've heard you say about the Steelers in 3 years.
I know. Look at this. Positive Dave.
Yeah, I had it.
Let me introduce you.
I had it as a 3-game swing. I want to say I had Mason 9 and Aaron 12 because I was optimistic.
Me too. Wow.
I don't remember what I said. I know I was down on Aaron. I think I had him down for 6 wins, 7 wins with Aaron.
I think Trent and I both had a start in 6-0 with Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys go over the schedule with like that?
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't really
week by week.
6-0 with Aaron.
Yeah, the schedule's very favorable to start, though. I mean, it's such a favorable early part of that schedule that
that must have been the most positive podcast ever. Like, what?
Every time you put a win, I shit on it instead of loss, so it wasn't that positive.
Like, god damn, I trying to live in reality a little bit here. Like 6-0. All right. You remember? Do you remember when I used to go over the schedule and I had an idea in my head, but then I went to do the schedule? I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that might be this situation again.
Zach, they did make it to me, by the way. I was listening, so
I found it. I found it. Okay, so
all right, Bob's got it.
Dave had us with Mason 5-12, and with Aaron 10-7.
Did I go 10-7?
He had a 5-game swing. Holy shit!
I back it.
Fred had 11-6 with Aaron, 8-9 with Aaron.
Wait, you just said Aaron twice. What?
Right,
without
with
8 now, without. So I had 3
Okay.
games.
I'm gonna call Mason Aaron Jr. now. And I had Mason 9-8. I thought they would get to the winning record with Mason, and 12-5 with Aaron.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
Oh, whoa. FS Sharp is not a happy camper. After 61 years of Steelers fan, I am out. I'll pick back up after AR leaves or gets injured. Just a joke. They don't need this old guy.
After
You know what?
61 years, this is
Sharp.
the breaking point, bro.
This
You've done it
is the best
61
quarterback
years.
they've had. This is the best quarterback they've had in 5 years, dude. You can not like his politics. You can not like the dark retreat stuff. Talent-wise, this is the best quarterback they've had in 5 years. Period. Full stop. End of story.
100%.
So, yeah. At 61 years, this is the breaking point. Why, though?
This guy's so fast.
It.
He already changed his name. Dave does not hate Aaron. Jesus Christ, man.
I get FS Sharp. I understand the segment of fans who are like that, who think that, hey, this is not what the Steelers would do. But remember, when you start thinking about the Chief and to a lesser extent, Dan, there wasn't free agency in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. It started to come in the 90s. But, and we kind of dabbled Kevin Green. Then we dabbled a little bit for the Super Bowl teams. But we're always very selective. We built with it. The problem is, and actually I'm going to save this until we talk about middle of the thing, is that let's just say the team infrastructure hasn't been for now what it was, and free agency and this stuff is what we have to resort to. See, that was very nice.
Aaron's having a weird effect on all of us right now.
Dude, there's so many emotions for everyone.
Yeah,
everybody's all in their emotions right now. So,
I mean, for the people who think that he just held this over the Steelers' head all this time, they didn't draft a quarterback until the 6th round. They had plenty of opportunities to go higher than that. They didn't even attempt to pick up a free agent quarterback, even though we know we take 4 into the season every single year. There was contact between the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. They knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. And everybody just knew he was not coming to OTAs. That's what it boiled down to. This wasn't like he was holding him hostage, which is what I think a lot of the fan base was making it out to be. It's just he was never going to sign early. I've been saying that since day one. Like, you're in for a long ride with this guy. It's just the way he is.
And Mason,
I did waver a little bit. I did waver. I thought maybe something was going on here because I get it was going to take long. I didn't think it was going to take this long. I didn't think it would be June 4th, and he technically hasn't even signed a contract yet. So, but apparently he's going to.
Bob, you're feeling good, brother.
Yeah, painkillers are a wonderful
It's miraculous.
thing. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers cures all.
I may need it. I've got to do the Draft Professor podcast at 9 tonight. I may need the heating pad for that one, but for now, I'm on an Aaron Rodgers high.
There you go. There you go.
So,
go
ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say, I think this does make them better. I like their chances now to finally, as long as he's the guy that late last season ended up being top 8 in a lot of these statistical categories. If we're getting that guy and he's not banging heads with Smith on how to go about things and Tomlin, I think we could see some nice big things here this coming season. At least a playoff win. I think we actually have more hope now.
This is going to be fascinating how he interacts with Tomlin, how he interacts with Arthur Smith, how he interacts with, the team. I know that there was reports some players were sick of him, getting a little tired of him holding out. I mean, I don't know.
I just, the thing I get nervous about the most, guys, is the age. I know that time's going to come sooner or later for him, and I pray to God it's not this season. Like, I hope we get one season out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that scares me with this. But the way he played last season, after it seemed like he definitely healed from that injury, was a lot better. And my biggest thing is we have a guy that I think when they say to do something stupid, he's going to say, no, shut the fuck up. We're not doing this. Like,
I hope so.
No,
yep, I hope
this
so.
is stupid. That's what I'm hoping. That's the thing about him. I'm hoping is what we get is a guy that's going to go, no, this is stupid. What do you that's the stuff I want. Same thing that we got with Ben, basically, for the most part, we would get.
What's the receiver's name who he's on Fox Sports? Is it Greg Jennings? I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was on with Pony and Mueller on Friday, and I thought it was really interesting because he talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers, and he said the media portrayal of him as some selfish, attention-seeking guy. He's like, he's not that guy in the locker room. He's not going to march into Arthur Smith and tell him, fuck you, we're going to run this. He's going to be maybe like Brady was with Arians, although we saw there was some friction there later on with, hey, I like this in the playbook. This suits me. Not necessarily I'm going to run my plays, call them my way. So if that's all true, this can really, really work. And personally, I think Arthur Smith is secure enough in his own skin to work with Aaron Rodgers and say, look, the guy resurrected Tannehill. He gets a lot of credit for that. He hasn't had a good quarterback since.
No.
And I also think, he played to Justin Fields' strengths. He tried to play to Russell Wilson's strengths. Nobody knows what those were, but he did try to play to those. So I think he's adaptive. I also think when you have FU money, which Arthur Smith has, that he's not going to get caught in some ego battle with a quarterback or a player. It's not his personality. It's not his reputation. I know a lot of people think he's not flexible. He's not a dictator. But, I mean, he seems to me to be a pretty easy guy to work with. And from what we've heard from guys like Caboli and Fittipaldo and those guys, he's also seems to be a nice guy. I think him and Aaron could really work together.
41-year-old Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback Arthur Smith's ever had.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Bar none. It's not even close.
Yeah. That's a good point. He is.
When he brought up Tannehill and all the quarterbacks that Arthur Smith has had, I'm thinking, Aaron Rodgers is better than all of them.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're 100% right.
And he changed. They talked about this. Arthur Smith changed a lot of his passing game last season because of both Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. He can run whatever he wants with Aaron. Aaron can throw anywhere on the field. He can make all the throws. He still has the arm talent, even at his age right now. Like, whatever Arthur Smith wants to call, and the whole middle of the field thing is going to come into play here because Arthur will run some middle of the field stuff, and Aaron's going to be able to make that happen. So we'll see if Tomlin allows it to happen, but I really think this is going to unlock a lot more of the Arthur Smith playbook. And if anything, that might be the biggest impact that we're going to see from Aaron Rodgers.
Our man Zach is on it. Matt Ryan, I forgot that 1 year with Matt Ryan, but yeah, it was the ghost of Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I was going to bring him up, but I couldn't remember if those two was at the same time or not. I couldn't remember when Ryan retired or they let him go or whatever.
Yeah, his arm was so shot, though.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Zach brings up the key. The offensive line is the key now. He made a joke about Trent getting Broderick on to off left tackle. How this offensive line plays this year is the key to the whole season because it is a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. He's going to need some protection. They need to play well. And that's going to be so important. Forget about coaches and wide receivers. If these guys can't block, if Broderick Jones plays like he did last year, this isn't gonna go well.
No,
it's not gonna go well at all.
It's another strength of Aaron Rodgers, though, is he gets the ball out of his hand quick, which we did not see from either of the two guys last year. Aaron gets the ball out extremely quick. he diagnoses defenses as well as anybody outside of maybe Brady and Manning. I think he'll understand how to work with it, even if the young line struggles early.
Yeah. I don't think you can underplay the fact that, and we kind of brought it up before. Everybody knows I'm a Broderick fan. The first practice last year, when they screwed up and put Dan Moore at left tackle and Broderick at right, despite Omar saying, no, Broderick's going to be left. He hurt his elbow that first practice. And that punch hand on the right side, your right hand punch hand, if that's hurt, if that's weakened, you are going to struggle at right tackle. Now, yeah, there were some times also too where it seemed he was being lazy and giving up on plays. But on the left side, he's dropped some weight. He's taken that move back seriously. I think he's eminently more comfortable there. And I wanted you to bear in mind, the only game he played at left tackle in his career against the Ravens is the highest graded Steelers tackle performance this decade. So I have high hopes for Broderick at left tackle.
I hope you're right. I 100% hope you're right. So Trent brought up in the chat before we got on, ESPN Fantasy is predicting, 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and 3,900 yards.
3,900 yards. Yep.
For Aaron Rodgers. Would you guys be okay with that? I think 20 and 11 would bother me a little bit. I'm expecting a little bit more. I think Bob brought up 25 and 7.
25 and 8 is what I think it'll be.
Yeah, I'd like to see 25 plus touchdown passes for a good season for him.
Wait, we're still talking about a Mike Tomlin coach team, and we can talk all we want and Flowery that Arthur Smith will have his full complement of weapons. He's still going to have Mike Tomlin saying, hey, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Have we tried the halfback toss yet?
Yes, correct.
All right. Zach wants an under-over. Under-over 20 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Bob, you go first.
Over. I say at least 25. Not more than 30, though. I think it will be between 25 and 30.
Trent?
I would guess it's around 25 as well. I think that's a pretty good number. I think he's over.
Davey?
Over. And the standard is 25 plus.
The rainbows and unicorns continue. I say about 25 to 27. Relic is saying 31.
Look,
Listen, if he puts up those kind of numbers, damn.
31
we're going to
to
Super Bowl.
5.
4,600 yards.
We're going to Super Bowl if he puts up those numbers.
Yeah,
at least the AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
if he puts that up.
Yeah, that's wow.
I like the optimism, Relic. I like it.
Well,
you like something, but this is
bizarro world.
The most rarest.
This is the way I was
ever for us
in the late 2010s, and before Matt Canada, before Ben got hurt, before Mike Tomlin turned into a cowardly lion.
It's like we got his podcast. We're 12-pack deep, and we're just filling it. Like that's what this feels like.
Well, look at this one. We're like smoking good stuff. I love it.
I was listening to 93.7 all day. They're doing their firefighter thing, and it's amazing how after the announcement, everybody hated Aaron Rodgers until it's okay, he's coming. Now all of a sudden, people are starting to realize that this could actually work. To say that this guy, we can't understate enough. Not only you could make the argument that this is the best quarterback since 2018, Ben, who before the elbow injury. Yeah. I thought Ben played very well in 20 and 21, but arm talent wise, even Ben will tell you Aaron Rodgers got the most arm talent of anybody not named Marino that he'd ever seen.
Yeah, it's undeniable. This is quarterback play, like legit quarterback play. Again, he's 41. He could get hurt week 2, God forbid, and it's be all for nothing. But it at least gives you some hope, right? Mason Rudolph, God love him. That's not going to get you anywhere. Russell Wilson, fucking all of them. Been so depressing the last 5 years. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers get MVP. That would be unbelievable.
if he did have that kind of season, I think it would be when you're going up against Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that as good as that would be, and Joe Burrow, as good as that would be, that might only be good for like 5th, 6th in the AFC.
Well, talk about the AFC North, right? You've got Burrow, you've got Jackson, you've got Rodgers, and then Kenny Pickett.
Man,
Flacco starting.
No, this is Bob. Bob's going to go, but they got Shador Sanders. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead.
Wouldn't it be the ultimate FU to Mason Rudolph if Kenny gets cut by the Browns and we side him and he becomes the backup?
No, they ain't bringing him back, Bob. That ship has sailed. The bridge burned, gone.
Has it though?
It has.
Maybe burned with Omar. Has it burned with Tomlin?
I would get my paycheck. It's burned. My dude.
We can't go back that.
He's gone.
Please. I'm in a good mood. You're going to freaking bring me down. God damn you. Talking about Kenny Pickett coming back. Holy crap.
Hey, I'm on record telling you that I'm telling you, Shador will be the starter in Cleveland by week 8.
Oh, I like this right here.
Yeah.
Right there. Ding, Zach.
Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean he deserves it, but they got to see what they got in Shador going into next year's draft because they're going to be terrible. And if Shador is their quarterback, then they don't need to take one. But if he's not, and chances are he won't be, but if he's not, then it doesn't matter. You're not winning anything this year in Cleveland. I don't care if Joe Flacco or Flacco, has a renaissance or whatever. You are not winning a Super Bowl. You're not even winning, getting to the playoffs.
They'll be back in the basement again, just like they almost always are, with the exception of a couple of years with what's his name. So, yeah, I'm not worried about them.
I mean, we should probably discuss this. There are ways this goes south. I mean, he is old. He is kind of. I know, Bob, you said he's not a bad guy, but he is stubborn, and Mike Tomlin is stubborn. So they could easily clash heads. I mean, there's a lot of, as excited as I am about this, there's a lot of ways this could go sideways and not be good. But like I said before, it's going to be entertaining one way or the other. We will not be bored this year.
No,
with this quarterback. I mean,
no, there's like I said, Dave. There's always the fear of father time. That's my only fear of him. That's it. But he's going to put his foot down, and he's going to say, like, there's certain things that are just not a good idea, or there's certain things that we need to do. Like Bob said, when Tomlin tries to do this run, he's gonna be like, no.
Or he's gonna walk up to the line and go, okay, run. All right, everybody run, break. As soon as he gets to the line, he's gonna be like, nope, we're doing this. And then, and
that's gonna be refreshing. I'm telling you.
And I was arguing with somebody on Twitter today. I forget who it was, but they were talking about how, he couldn't audible and he wouldn't let his Hall of Fame quarterback. I'm sorry. Yeah, Russell Wilson is probably going to the Hall of Fame, but he ain't a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback right now. And when the audibles were, and this is kind of documented now, Russell Wilson was audibling to the halfback toss. Yeah, I would sit there and say, if I'm his coordinator too, hey, you see that shit don't work, right? Because I put Cordarrelle Patterson in the game. How many of those were audibles where you tossed it to Cordarrelle Patterson?
I missed it. The foot down thing. I didn't pick up on it.
Or as he's more affectionately known in Pittsburgh, Chef Boyardee.
I think Tomlin would give Aaron Rodgers a lot more leash than he's been giving anybody else. I don't know that those two are going to clash. I mean, I know he's kind of like the ultimate authoritarian as a coach, but like there is so much respect between he and Aaron. I actually think he would give Aaron kind of a license to do a little bit of what he wants. He's going to give him freedom. That's why you brought him here. That had to be part of that conversation when he came here for 6 hours that day, right? I mean, that had to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
You would assume so. You would hope so. That, Mike Tomlin doesn't have a different expectation than the rest of us do. And, Aaron, and he thinks this is still going to be like conservative run football. I mean,
I could actually see I can see Aaron and Arthur Smith being the issue more so than Aaron and Tomlin. I think Arthur Smith's pretty headstrong. He's kind of a disciplinarian. Like,
oh, so wait, one do you think the more clash could happen with Smith than Tomlin?
I think so.
I
think it's Smith.
If you had to pick one, so you think it's Smith. What about you guys? If there's going to be an issue, who's it going to be he clashes with?
Yeah, I was going to say Tomlin, but Trent makes a good point. I mean, they do respect each other. They always have. You just tell. And he did play hands. He was hands off with Ben. He let Ben do pretty much whatever the hell he wanted. So you would hope. Yeah, I'm going to say Smith too. Bob?
I don't see either one being a clash, and I'll tell you why exactly. Is Rodgers does something that Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, nobody since Ben can do. That he can walk to the line, and he doesn't have to audible necessarily. He can look at it and say, okay, we're running this pass play, and this is the guy. I know based on this defense, this guy is going to be wide open, so I can hit my back foot and get rid of the ball to the guy I know who's going to be open based on diagnosing the defense. And I remember specifically several games where Russell Wilson was in there and Aaron Smith or Arthur Smith was sitting there mouthing the words, "Throw the fucking ball." And that's why I don't think they'll clash, because Aaron, within the confines of the offense, they can talk about it and say, hey, I'm running this route, so this guy is there to get the ball out on time. And Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out on time. Even at his age, he can't run around like he used to. I think he's going to be more mobile than people think. Somebody brought up in the chat a little while ago, he's more mobile than Mason Rudolph. He's going to hit his back foot and throw the ball. So, and Arthur Smith, because of this whole thing that came out from Russell Wilson's camp about the audible issue, I think he'll do everything he can not to conflict. So if I was going to say one or the other, I would say Tomlin, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be.
I think that's a good point. Whatever.
Zach.
I'm sick of seeing this smile on Dave's face.
That'll do it. That, and you bringing up George Pickens before, which I was going to come to.
What I was going to say is that I think Bob makes a good point, because really, let's think about all the quarterbacks since Ben. I would say Rodgers is the best at knowing what a defense is going to do.
He's the best at everything, Dave.
There's literally video of him walking up to the line and talking shit to a fucking defensive lineman or the linebacker, like, hey, I know you're coming. Hey, I know you're coming. Good luck. Like, he knows, man. Like, he's really good at that stuff. Like, it's not like when, say, Justin Fields came up to the line and it's not really his thing to be that good at reading defenses. This will be a guy that's an subject matter expert in this kind of stuff. As we say, he's the Shmee of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, you're right. Zach brought up the point. Let's talk about it a little bit. Wide receiver 2. Are they going to get somebody, or is this going to be – does Aaron make it good enough where they don't need another guy? And George Pickens was still here.
Our friend of the program, Nick Faribaugh, was reporting that, I guess the whole Gabe Davis fantasy is not looking great. Once
they get out of the building, they never come back usually for the Steelers. Once they get away.
Yeah, but he was saying because of the injury, because of the knee.
It could be because of that.
I'm almost wondering if he's not going to be able to play in 2025 because, he's failed, 2 physicals, and the Steelers didn't even get to the point where they offered to give him a physical. So, which is sad because he's still a young guy. I mean, if he does have to sit out 25, it's not like he doesn't have money in the bank, but you start to wonder about a receiver who has to take a year off because of an injury.
Do you want to talk about the Antonio Brown thing real quick? Because I am so fucking amused by this.
Let's go. Let's talk about it. Why not?
Who was it? Somebody posted. Was it one of those stupid accounts on X that said Antonio Brown? Aaron Rodgers wants Antonio Brown to come back if he signs, and then Antonio Brown retweeted that tweet. And listen. I'm embracing the chaos.
Yeah, get ready, Trent, if you have it.
7-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Antonio Brown says that new Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers asked him in February if he'd be interested in playing again for Pittsburgh. And Brown's 36, Hall of Famer, still elite football shape, works out daily. And then AB did repost the tweet.
Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm here for it. Let's fucking go. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose?
Yeah.
Spoken from a guy who has a podcast and is dying for this kind of content.
Like, dude, like this would be the most insane
dude,
combination of quarterback wide receivers ever. Like I couldn't
am not
even
kidding.
imagine.
I want this so bad. I am not kidding. I want this so bad. Embrace the chaos, but let's go.
Can I give my quote that I gave you guys in the text message chain?
We'll send.
So we'd be going from the Killer Bees, which we just did a whole show about, to the Killer D's, full of complete fucking dickheads, because that's what this room would be.
I'm here for it. I am here for it.
I mean,
let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest. He's 30. He'll be 37 soon. If he's in any kind of a football shape, and we even talked about this last year when they were talking about, as they got to the point where they traded for Mike Williams, where I floated, why not just reach out to AB and see if he's willing? Because if he is, he's probably the best option you got as far as, based on Mike Williams.
Yeah.
I think probably Keenan Allen and some trade possibilities are better options right now. But
I hate to be the bringer of bad news here, but there ain't no fucking way. Like, dude, like, look, they bring him. One, he's nuts. I mean, do we have to review everything this guy has done? Like,
they're not in charge anymore.
On his way out of Pittsburgh, the things he said. Then
they're not in charge anymore. Uncle Aaron's in charge now. If he says bring him, they bring him.
No, dude.
Did you not? No. Did you miss the memo? Uncle Aaron's in charge.
They're not. No.
Hey,
he's pulling up in a freaking Rolls Royce as we speak right now.
Zach said, "My boy Pat doesn't have the mental strength for this."
Dude.
Oh man.
Speaking of that, this seems like kind of a good time to talk about up in the right-hand corner, down in the bottom. We can always point the wrong way. If you guys didn't notice, up in the top, we have a sponsor for the podcast, Ultra GM. We want to welcome Evan Goldberg, who is the proprietor. And Evan, you want to tell us a little bit about the website?
Sure. Hey guys, how you doing? So Ultra GM is basically a new kind of fantasy football, and it's different from any other because it puts you in the role of the GM of your favorite team. In this case, presumably the Steelers for all of you. So you'd go on to Ultra GM, you'd essentially buy the Steelers, you'd inherit the Steelers roster as of the start of the league year in free agency, and then you go through free agency, college draft, do trades, all that stuff, and you build that team in your own image. The guys you wanted the Steelers to draft, the guys you wanted them to sign in free agency, all of those moves that you've always said, come on, Con, how come you're doing this? What the fuck are you doing with this? You have the chance to do all of those things yourself. And
Evan, let me just correct you real quick. What you mean by that is, what the fuck was Kevin Colbert doing?
Right. Okay. Sure.
Evan, don't let him interrupt anymore. Don't let him interrupt. Continue, please.
So, I think probably for, the fans of maybe 28, 29 NFL teams, and I don't think Pittsburgh is necessarily any different. So many of us think that we could do that GM job better than the guy who's doing it. And this is kind of a chance to put your money where your mouth is and prove it. And so you take a hold of that team. It's a full 53-man roster plus a practice squad. Everything is according to the real NFL salary cap, real NFL contracts for the players, and you basically build your team the way you want to build it, and then you compete fantasy football style through the season. So we have scoring unlike your typical fantasy football where, it's really just skill position stuff. We have scoring for all players, except for long snappers. We don't have scoring for long snappers, but offensive linemen, defensive linemen, individual defensive players. And the scoring is scaled to the relative importance of the various positions and the football actions that they're taking. So quarterbacks, most important, offensive tackles, cornerbacks, edge rushers are kind of in that next group. Same as kind of the NFL priorities. And then you compete during the season. And one of the unique things about it is that the competition, you compete really simultaneously in 2 leagues. So one of the leagues is a 32-team league that mirrors the NFL. You play the same schedule. So when the Steelers are playing the Bengals, you're playing a Cincinnati fan who is running the Bengals just like you're running your Steelers team. And then there's a second league that's a Steelers only league. So this is a 14-team league that's all Steelers owners. And then one team that's the Omar Khan, Kevin Colbert Steelers, the actual Steelers team. So this is sort of the way you can, have that barometer to see if you really are doing the job better than the real GM. And you're also competing against friends. So you can have a private league for Steelers Sanctuary, everyone competing with their own version of the Steelers. They're all going to be different. The players different depending on who you liked in the draft, who you like in free agency. You build your own Steelers team, and you get to compete against, not just fans of other teams, but in this Steelers league, compete to see who can take that same initial starting Steelers lineup and get the best performance out of it over the course of the season, and then subsequent seasons as well. So it runs kind of dynasty style.
Yeah,
So anybody who does God,
no, go ahead.
Anybody who doesn't like the Aaron Rodgers signing, you can undo it with your team.
Well, you actually, you don't even have to undo it because you'll get the team at the start of the league year. So Rodgers won't automatically be on your team. If you want Rodgers, you can sign him and in free agency. You'll bid on him, and when you sign a player in free agency, you're bidding on that player and his contract. So it's a package deal, just like it is in the real NFL. So if you want Rodgers, go get Rodgers. If you hate the idea of Rodgers, like the guy who I forget the name, who was given up after 61 years, go get yourself another quarterback.
Yeah, this
get
is a way for FS Sharp to stay in it.
Right.
Yeah, no need to walk away after 61 years, bro. Just do this.
Right.
Wait till you see the wide receivers on my team, guys. I am gonna have a Pro Bowl set of wide receivers like you've never seen.
Right. I'm curious to see if most of the Steeler owners in Ultra GM also tend to get crazy receivers, just like the history the Steelers have had of,
yeah,
that job after that job receiver. Like, is that going to bear itself out in Ultra GM as well?
Tyreek Hill and Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
There you go.
DK in the slot. Let's go.
Martavis is number 4.
Oh,
Signing him off the UFL roster.
There you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
this sounds like a lot of fun. You can have a lot of fun with it. We're excited about having Evan as a sponsor and participating in his fantasy league. If you're a hardcore football guy and you want to be a general manager, like most of us are, this should be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and it's really what you're doing in the off season. It's really the same stuff you guys are talking about all off season. So when you're talking about, hey, who should the Steelers draft? What are the weaknesses on the team? Who are the kinds of guys that they need to get? You're also sort of, you're already doing 90% of the work or thinking that you'd be doing towards your Ultra GM Steelers team, because you're gonna, you have your chance to plug those holes and fill those needs in the way that you think it should be done. And then, like I said, it's, in a sense, put your money where your mouth is after all these years of, saying that you could do the job better, and let's see if you can.
If Bob has the stones to put Shedeur Sanders as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see how that goes.
I might draft Shedeur, but he's sitting behind my man Aaron.
Okay.
I'm a fantasy football fanatic. Like I Mostly, I usually have 2 to 3 teams for fantasy football. So for me personally, I'm very excited about this partnership because this is fantasy football on steroids. It's literally the fix that somebody like me would need during football. So I'm pretty excited to do this kind of stuff.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So you see the website scrolling on the bottom. Use Steelers Sanctuary 25 for a $5 discount, and that helps us out too. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to do a Steelers Sanctuary League.
Yeah.
And we'll all compete against each other, and that'll be fun for bragging rights.
We've also talked about maybe even doing like a show for it too.
Yeah. To see how we're doing, track our progress,
track everybody,
talk shit. Yeah.
Talk shit in the chat. Yeah. This could be
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ton of fun, guys. Please join this with us. It's going to be amazing. It really is.
Yeah. And it should be fun talking, and seeing how, different people do. Dave will channel his inner Colbert. I'll channel my inner Khan. And then everybody else can do their own thing. So it should be hilarious to see who actually comes out of this.
Okay. Any last thoughts, Evan, before we get back to the podcast?
No, get back to it. I know it's an exciting and it will be an interesting time in Pittsburgh, one way or the other. However it goes, it's definitely going to be an interesting season. So we'll see how that plays out.
And
I do think one thing you guys didn't say about it, though. I mean, I think there's the possibility. I mean, last year was Aaron's the first year back from the Achilles. And there is some history of guys that have taken sort of 2 years to really fully get back. And although it doesn't seem like for a quarterback, you're putting that much wear and tear on it, I think that the way when you hit the back of your drop, the stepping up, some of those things, those little details might make a difference being a year removed from the injury again. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Relic mentioned in the chat he already tried to sign up. Thanks, Relic. We appreciate that. And he was having some difficulty. Evan, is kind of a known issue.
Yeah. So I just found out about it right before the show. We'll get that taken care of, and I'll let the guys know so that they can let everyone know when that little glitch is fixed. Just found out about it today. So
all right.
And guys, Evan will be on with us every week to answer questions, talk about, the latest
he's going to do a couple minutes
going on
with us.
with Ultra GM. So, if you guys have questions, make sure you send them to us, DM us on Twitter and or X or whatever the hell it's called at this point.
All right.
So
thanks a lot, Evan.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you again next week.
Take care, Evan.
Talk to you later.
All right. Bye now.
All right. We got a couple questions about Terry McLaurin in the chat. That's like the dream scenario, right? I mean, Jesus Christ, if we get Terry McLaurin, I mean, short of Antonio Brown, getting Terry McLaurin would be.
Yeah.
I honest to God, I'm thinking Super Bowl if they get Terry McLaurin, or at least a good playoff run.
Yeah, at least. I mean, it really depends on if you end up playing Kansas City and where.
Man, that's a good question about. So he signed a 3-year rookie extension worth $68.3 million in 2022.
McLaurin?
Yeah.
This is the last year of his contract. Yeah.
And they haven't been negotiating with him apparently. So
I'm getting ready to go look
chat
at
is special. The conversation going on in the chat right now, I can't even get into it.
Yeah, Patriots 12 is talking about Aaron being 40. Hey, we talked about this. That arm talent is the best arm talent since Roethlisberger. He's 40. He's 41. Okay, but he's better than everything else we've had the last 5 years.
So McLaurin's base right now in 2025 is $15.5 million, a signing bonus of $5.6 million, and a roster bonus of $2.8 million. So,
Zach, what don't you understand? The fact that people are speculating, or the fact that the Commanders are not trying to re-sign him? Because I think that's the really strange part. I mean, why wouldn't you want?
I just think Zach can't handle so much winning at once. That's what I think.
It is tough to take. There's no doubt about that.
Doesn't this kind of smack a little bit of Ayuk? Doesn't it kind of
a little bit use the Steelers to bolster? But he hasn't mentioned the Steelers at all. No, like Ayuk was sending pictures of the way him and Tomlin looked alike, and he was doing overtly trying to link himself to the Steelers. McLaurin's not doing that yet.
What is Dresden saying about 5 wins? Is he predicting 5 wins with Rodgers? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he's been bashing the Steelers all throughout the chat.
Yeah.
Dresden, come on, man. This is
5 wins?
Rainbows and Unicorns episode.
I mean,
come on.
Okay, well, and look, the Jets.
I'm wondering if
the Jets went
that
5
Jordan
and 12
Love?
with Rodgers, but they don't have the roster we have, right? I mean, is that what we're in agreement on here?
Actually, you can make an argument their roster's a little
Last
better.
year was better.
Is that Jordan Love in his?
Was their defense better? Is my question. But anyways, go ahead.
probably not,
No,
but it's close. They got some good players on that team.
trust me. There's things that didn't make sense, but
Yeah. Look, that was a shit clusterfuck. The coach was, fired after 4, 5, 6 games. That was just a big mess. The offensive coordinator was a joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge mistake to bring that guy in after he failed to Denver so badly. And I know
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers liked him, but based on who was available in the market, Aaron Rodgers had a comfort level with him. Sometimes it's okay to tell your quarterback, "Hey,
Yeah.
I get it, but no." He can be your
Yeah.
quarterback coach, but he ain't gonna be the coordinator. And
Zach's right.
Zach's-
Yeah, I was going to say the commander's not paying him. The quarterback is on a rookie deal. They just went to the NFC Championship game, and that new group seems like a smart group. Quinn's a good coach. The general manager's a really good general manager. Yeah, we can dream, right? I mean, obviously McLaurin's not happy, and he's making that very well known. So anything can happen.
it's a $25.5 mil cap hit for them right now with him.
Yeah, but again, if you're redoing him, you can lower that cap hit. You can make it bigger. You can do whatever you want.
I know. I'm just letting you know the expectation
Yeah.
is that.
Well, and interestingly enough, if it's true, and Shower's asking, do we know what we don't know the details of the contract yet, but let's say he did sign for 10. Well, the Steelers still have, I think it's 25 million left under the cap. Hey, how do you get there? You bring in Terry McLaurin. Even if you do the TJ extension, I mean, unless they really structure it weird, it's not going to hit till next year. So redoing TJ doesn't mean that you're going to have all this. You're going to hit your cap this year.
Oh, so it wouldn't hit this year at all?
TJ,
Yeah,
they
it can.
They could lower it this year. They could make his salary lower, his cap hit lower, not his salary. His cap hit lower this year if they wanted to. It's all and that's what Omar Khan's good at. He's a cap guy. He can make this work if he wants to. So that I don't worry about.
according to Over the Cap, if the Commanders were to trade Terry McLaurin, they'd have $5.6 million in dead cap, 19.9 in cap savings. So if this is something cap related for them, which I don't know why it would be,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know
a good
why it would
point.
be either, but
like
You got to figure with that being the case too, because it's not a huge hit for a team compared to what receivers are getting paid. They may be asking for a 1. I don't think they'll get a 1, but they may be asking for a 1.
Yeah.
And if that's the case,
yeah, you can't give a 1.
you can't. The Steelers can't give a 1.
No,
There
that's what
are-
I'm saying. They can't give a 1.
Yeah, I think there are teams out there who could give a 1.
That's possible. I mean, the Steelers, under no circumstances, can trade the number 1 pick next year. They need it. They need a quarterback next year. This Aaron's a one and done.
Why is he on this Patriots 12 guy? Why is he so stuck on Pickett? Pickett sucked. He sucked.
That's why we traded him. He's
Dude,
terrible.
He wanted out. This has nothing to do. Pickett wanted out. He didn't want to be in competition with Fields and Russ Wilson because he's a. Never mind. I'm gonna just.
Well, Fields wasn't on
No.
the team yet.
Oh, it was Russell Wilson though. Is Russell Wilson?
When Wilson signed.
Yeah.
Dude, Pickett
Yeah,
not
he
great.
never wanted to compete.
Wanted out. Didn't want to compete. They sent him to
He
the.
didn't want to compete.
We got a what? 4th
Period.
round pick.
End of story.
He
Drafted
didn't
Peyton
even
Wilson.
want to dress to back up
Not bad.
Mason in that game in Seattle. So I get it. If you're a Pitt fan, you love Kenny Pickett because he faked a slide and he had long
Big pun.
flowing hair. I trade
Oh,
for Dickerson
shit.
Whip. Oh,
Big pun. Don't tease me. This would really, really send me over the moon. I don't think I'd be in a bad mood the rest of the season.
You ready to send him Hall of Fame Herbig now?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. As we talked about that back then. The Lions wouldn't do it. The Lions wouldn't do it. They
No.
would not do it.
It'd be stupid.
Yeah. You guys are killing me. You're going to trade Herbig for Jameson Williams? You crazy?
I heard
You guys were killing me.
I
We
forget
were.
who the analyst was.
I was right
heard them
again.
No, I heard the analyst
Here we
talking
go.
about Herbig.
Trent, just sit back and watch this real quick.
Considering how many snaps he played, number one, he's the fastest edge rusher off the ball in the NFL. He also
Oh boy, here we go.
more fumbles per snaps than any player in the league. So, yeah, I mean, it's nice that Jamison Williams
He can't play the run.
But Jamison Williams has never done anything in the league other than get suspended for gambling.
We talked about his numbers last year. They were really good. Oh, get that out of here.
If you act now, you can get
If
the
you
whole at Steelers.
So let's
your
talk
Uncle
about
Aaron's shirt.
Yeah, there
Get
you
a
go.
Hall of Fame
Now.
Herbig shirt.
We don't have a promo code yet, but it's coming. Don't you worry.
Gabe Davis came in for a visit, left the building without a contract. We don't know if he failed the physical. I think we can kiss Gabe Davis off, cross him off the list. The Jonnu Smith stuff still out there, I guess. It's gotten quiet lately. Who knows? Donald Parham's out for the season, so there's a spot now, I guess. What do you think about Jonnu Smith? Like I said before, any weapon is a good weapon for me at this point.
Well, the rumor was, because I remember I brought this up about some funds getting traded to them, I wonder. And it sounds like the rumor was Washington, right? Is that what you guys are seeing? I think that's what I saw.
Oh, for
No?
Jonnu Smith? I didn't see that.
I don't know if that's
possible.
Not straight up, but I thought I read on Twitter somewhere that the rumor was that Washington be in that trade package going back to them.
Why would you though? I mean, if you're Pittsburgh, I don't know why you would do that, but
I'm with you. Like, why are we doing this? Like, but that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it just, at the time they had 4 or 5 tight ends already. So, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they would do it either, but
Nicole Pruitt is still out there. I wouldn't count.
Oh,
not
God.
that I love
Oh.
him, but he is an Arthur Smith guy. So
he can block. Yes.
Yeah. He's actually a pretty good receiver. He's more of a receiving type than a blocker.
Oh God, Bob. What?
Yeah, he is. I mean, that's he's
good-
not the Nicole Pruitt's not very big. I mean,
No,
he's bigger,
no, not
bigger
that
than
part.
Connor Hayward.
The whole that he's a receiving tight end. I don't know. I don't see it.
Well,
Jamison Williams had 58 receptions for 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. 17.1 yard average.
Well, Pruitt's old,
My man.
right? Maybe back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, but Pruitt's not.
No, I'm saying back in the day, maybe he was a more better receiving tight end, but now
he's not
President is
a
out.
great blocker. Yeah. Down of any more Tomlin ball.
Give it a
This is
chance,
Aaron.
brother. Give it a chance, for Christ's sake.
what
This
is
isn't
going
Tomlin
on?
ball. This is Uncle Aaron ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a new era of Steelers.
That's going to
Yeah, I
last
can't
all
even
of
say I'm
17
laughing.
games.
Didn't Connor Hayward have a tweet or quoted as something saying he didn't understand how Jonnu Smith and Pat Fryermuth could work in the same offense because they basically do the same things? I mean, I suppose he's right, but if you're creative enough, I'm sure you can make that work. It's 2 talented guys.
You can make it
Come on.
work.
I think you can make it work. We run a ton of 12 personnel.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
you
I
could
was-
easily make it work. You don't want both those guys blocking
Yeah,
on
for
the same play,
100%.
There you go. There you go.
but you can make it work.
Yes.
I think you almost have to do it as 13 personnel, or Rodgers and Fatano have to be the real deal at tackle, because then you could get away with, okay, just stand in front of somebody. You know, you're almost telegraphing it though when you put those two on the field that you're going to pass versus run.
Filiponi's such a clown. He's such a fucking clown.
Yeah, I heard that today.
All right. That tells me right now we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is winning MVP. You can book it.
Okay, so for those that are going to be listening to the podcast, Andrew Filipponi, said he'd rather watch Rudolph and/or Howard than Aaron Rodgers. Despite my affection for Will Howard and A+ draft pick, by the way, no, that is no. I would rather have Aaron Rodgers.
Let's just call it what it is. Some people can't get by into politics. They don't like the darkness retreat stuff. They don't like what Aaron Rodgers stands for. Listen, separate that shit from on the field. There's a lot of people that I don't like their politics too, but if they're going to be good on the field, who cares?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? Get
Right.
over it.
Right.
I mean, I was seeing today on Twitter the Steelers had to send apology letters or something for Mason Rudolph
Yeah. Oh yeah.
doing his thing. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Separate that shit. This is sports. Keep politics out of it.
Look at Joe Burrow. Does anybody in Cincinnati think less of Joe Burrow because he supported
It's just nonsense.
Harris? I mean, it's just is what it is. These guys are football players. Who gives a fuck what they think about
Right.
politics?
Yeah.
Who cares? Can he play football or not?
Yeah. Hey, got to have a shout out to our man Vaughn here, draft best champion Vaughn, by the way.
Yeah.
A big Edmonton Oilers fan, at least on his
Oh
Twitter
yeah,
now.
yeah, 1-0.
Hey, nice win, 1-0 out there last night.
All right, let's do the Beanie Bishop stuff. Dave, you take me through this because I'm not the Pitt, West Virginia. He's clawing on the Pitt thing. What is he doing? What are we doing here?
So here's the thing. I guess he was in the pit side of the facility, and he wiped his. I don't know if it's his shoes or spikes. He wiped his feet on the logo, the Pitt logo in there, and it. I don't look. Okay, I'm a WU fan. I don't hide from that. I wish if you do it, there was no fucking need to put this on Instagram or wherever he put it. There was no need to have to put that out there for everybody to see. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand the hatred between WU and Pitt. I get it. I just wish he wouldn't have done this. So now Pitt alumni, Pitt, whatever, everybody's all in an uproar about the disrespect he showed and all this stuff. Like I said, my opinion is I'm not surprised because it is a deep hatred between the two schools. Just don't put it on social media. Why? Why was there a need to do this? That's my problem with it. But that's what happened. He did that. He videoed it and put it on Instagram.
I mean, if he doesn't put it on social media, though, nobody knows he did it.
Yeah.
That's
another one of those things. Who
but
cares?
You can disrespect somebody without letting the world know, Bob.
Well, it doesn't have quite the effect if the world doesn't know, though, right?
But you shouldn't want. But why do you want the world to know? It's so stupid.
Because he wants to. Because
you're just looking for fucking.
They want
trouble.
attention. Yeah, they want attention.
Okay,
whatever. Who cares?
So I'm from Jacksonville, and we have a few college football rivalries around here. We follow pretty closely. Florida, Florida State, Florida, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. You notice a common denominator there. But I remember, Bobby Bowden and Steve Spurrier, the Free Shoes University. Steve Spurrier saying you can't spell citrus without UT with the Citrus Bowl. I don't have a huge.
That makes it more fun.
Yeah, I don't have a huge problem with it. I get it, but it's disrespectful. But it's no more disrespectful than Baker Mayfield playing a flag in the middle of the.
Let's be honest.
That's a good like point. Like, what's considered more respectful? The whole flag playing in the middle of the field or wiping your feet up on their logo in the facility?
Yeah.
Can we be honest for a minute? Both Pitt and West Virginia are irrelevant anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Okay, let's take it easy.
He made this.
He made
piss
this
everybody
comment.
off.
You made this comment.
Irrelevant.
You didn't have
irrelevant
to do that.
in fucking
You
30
didn't have
years.
to you didn't have to take the shot, but you decided to take the shot.
Nobody outside of Pittsburgh and West Virginia gives a shit about Pittsburgh and West Virginia.
Didn't they take an 11-year break from playing the game?
I don't know.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
It seems like they took like an 11-year. I thought I heard that today. There was like a big gap where they played a game and then they didn't play for like 10 years. Maybe they were talking about Pitt and Penn State.
You mean against each other? Yeah, there was a while where they went without facing each other. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which was stupid. Like that should happen the backyard brawl should happen every fucking year. But whatever. Anyways, look, I don't want to hear that shit that they're not the big time schools. Like I get that, but West Virginia baseball just took the regional in baseball.
I'm talking about football. I don't know about college baseball.
So let's take it easy with there are a bunch of nobodies there. Okay, Mr. Boston College or whatever it is you got up there in fucking.
We don't have colleges yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't.
We have colleges that just don't play in athletics.
State that don't have jack shit in college football. Well, anyways,
it's better to talk about hockey. If you want to talk about hockey, then it's a different story.
Nobody's talking about hockey.
More disrespectful right now. Dave's comments, planting the flag on the field or his logo.
Damn, calling my Mountaineers nothing. Like in front of my face, Dave. Jeez.
I love you to death, Dave. But fucking, we're talking about two teams that.
We just talked about this, not in front of everybody. You do it without telling everybody.
See, that's why I started being in this, because it's just. Oh,
now I'm triggered and frustrated and everything else. I got to drink some water and hydrate. Got me all flustered.
As much as I do not like Drew Allard's game, but I will allow that he could make a leap and look better this year. If Pittsburgh drafts Drew Allard after having the Kenny Pickett debacle, it'll be interesting to see the other side of the fan base all of a sudden start defending everything Allard does, and the Pickett lovers just attack Allard mercilessly. I mean, I don't get it.
It's going to happen. I don't get it either, but it's going to happen.
Hey, Justin Weimer is giving us some love. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
That's a very nice comment. He says, I don't know. I know there's only 275 members, but this has to be the greatest cast on YouTube. Freaking hilarious and informative. Thanks. We really appreciate that.
Please like, subscribe, and come back.
Yeah, right? Spread the word, buddy.
Get the word out,
275.
brother. This is only the beginning, baby.
Just to spend a second on the draft class next year for the quarterbacks, it just keeps getting better and better. Now they're talking about the Arizona State kid's supposed to be pretty good too now. They're saying this could be the best quarterback draft class in a long time. So please, Pittsburgh, don't fuck it up and trade your first-round pick for anybody. For the love of Christ, don't do it.
Please.
Okay,
don't do it. Nobody.
Drew Allard should not be in that conversation, though.
Yeah, he'd have to make a leap.
Some people think I haven't really watched him close.
I mean, significantly. He's got great tools, but he is not very good.
So I married into a Penn State family. So they're, as you know, Penn State fans are kind of crazy. Love them to death. Just saying the facts. Drew Allard, we really thought he was going to be really good. We did 2 years ago. And then this past season, like I watched almost every game, guys. If not for Warren, they wouldn't have done jack shit.
Yeah, but didn't they have shitty wide receivers, like really bad wide receivers?
Well, it didn't help. But I don't think it was that bad, but he was off, man. He wasn't as good as advertised. But if not for Warren, think about it. He didn't complete a pass to a wide receiver in that last game.
Yeah.
Their last game.
Yeah, the wide receiver stunk.
Was that against? Who was that against? Against Ohio State? Who was that against? Notre Dame? He did not complete a pass to a wide receiver the whole game. It was the Warren show. Tyler Warren was the show.
Sounds like a Steeler to me.
See, I start to question.
He's a Tomlin guy for sure.
See, I start to question if you're a quarterback and you're supposed to be a high draft pick, how in the hell does no receiver want to play with you at a school like Penn State that has a ton of pedigree?
Yeah.
I mean,
is that on the coach recruiting though? I don't know. Again, I'm kind of speaking from ignorance. I didn't really watch a lot of Penn State this year. Just from generally, I watched the bowl game and I watched a couple of the games, but
right. Trust me, there's only so many teams I've watched too. Like I haven't got to watch all the quarterbacks. I mean, this is something we'll have to look into, when we get down that road. But
we'll take Trent's word for it, though. He's a Big Ten guy, so we'll.
Allard's got a ton of physical tools. Like he physically is as gifted as anybody, but he's not putting it all together. And their receiver core is garbage. Like, don't get me wrong, but they took a 5-star receiver in Julian Fleming off of Ohio State, and I don't think he caught a pass.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like it was Tyler Warren or bust.
And the running backs, check downs to the running backs.
Yes.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you a question. This is for everybody. If giving up the one to get Terry McLaurin landed us in the Super Bowl, would you do it?
Yeah, you can't guarantee me it's a Super Bowl. I mean, I love it.
I guarantee you we go to the Super Bowl if we give up the one for Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, you got to take it then. If it guarantees me a Super Bowl, fuck it. There's no guarantee that any of these quarterbacks in the next year's draft are going to get you a Super Bowl. I mean, it gives you more hope, but
just a Super Bowl appearance.
Well, yeah, you no guarantee you're going to win the game, but you no guarantee you're going to lose
could win it
either.
Yeah, Vaughn says yes. I'm kind of with him. I think
in the draft, the only draft where you've got this many chances at a franchise QB.
I know.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
I watched,
but you get 7. You get number 7.
Yeah,
it's tough. I don't know.
I watched that kid Klubnik a little bit this weekend. Last weekend, he looks pretty good. The Clemson kid.
Trent, I try to read the look off your face, but it's really hard right now. What are we
Yeah,
doing there?
well,
I-
he's conflicted.
That's a very conflicting question. I mean, I think
I didn't answer it yet.
I
So
think you go the same route as the Rams, and you sell the franchise to win it.
Yeah,
You only get so many. The window is only so small, and if that's your only chance,
oh, Trent,
Look,
you
you
always
could-
say
you
that
could-
my
you better hit.
face.
You better hit 2 years. 2 years later, though, I'll tell you that.
You can definitely make the argument that in 2 years, when this new quarterback's going to be good, TJ's gone, Cam Hayward's gone, Darius
Wait.
Slay's gone, Micah Fitzpatrick's
Yeah.
gone.
I got it. You just trade 2027 to get higher in the draft next year. We'll just keep trading the first round picks the next previous year. This is why you got to play Ultra GM, baby, because I'm going to make these fucking moves, and you're
You
going
are
to
fucking-
see
You
Steeler
want to be a
football
salesman, for
at
fuck's
its
sake.
greatest
You missed your
moment.
calling. You missed your
Let's
calling.
go. Let's go. Thank you, Trent. That made sense. I knew I could rely on you. Yep. Absolutely. 2026 first round pick, gone.
I got a question.
2027, gone. Got it figured out. Nailed
Who would
it.
you rather have, McLaren or Jameson Williams?
Ooh.
McLaurin.
One's
That's
younger.
not even close. That's
I don't
Well,
care.
One, we don't have to worry about being suspended for gambling. The other,
He was never suspended for gambling. I don't think that's a
what are
thing.
you talking
He
about?
did.
It's
Was he?
He
rookie
definitely was.
season. He was
Yeah.
suspended
Oh,
6
that's right.
games.
That's right. That's right.
Well, we just
Sorry.
gotta. Yes, we didn't bring this up just for the
I
sake
forgot, I
of
forgot.
it. It happened.
I don't
This
care.
kid started his rookie
I don't
season
care.
suspended.
I don't care.
He got
He's talented
drafted.
as fuck.
He got drafted and immediately suspended.
Yeah,
All right.
literally,
Dave,
literally.
hold on. Terry
Give me
McLaurin
Jameson.
is a top 10 wide receiver.
He's also 29, right? Am I right?
30.
29 going to be 30? He's
He
30.
turned 30, I think.
You're okay with 37 crazy-year-old Antonio Brown playing.
For one season. For one season
you
for free. Like, you're not giving up anything for Antonio Brown.
You're
It's
only
free.
paying McLaurin for one season.
No, you have to resign him. If you trade a
29
first for him, you got to resign him. You can't let him
Okay,
walk
2
after
years.
1 year.
What?
He is 30. But, I
He
mean,
is
come
30.
on. Come
Do I
on
have to be
now.
right again?
1,100, 1,000, 1,200, 1,000, 1,000. With fucking shitty quarterbacks, by the way, except for Jake Daniels. I mean, 80, 87, 77.
I'm not saying,
77,
look, I'm not saying
39.
McLaurin's not a good receiver. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he's 30. He's going to cost you $30 million a year or around that. What's wide receiver money right now? High 20s?
Huh. Maybe
And
more.
he's going to cost you at least a second round pick.
Okay, so Jameson Williams is 24, and if he screws up the over bet in week 2, he's going to throw week 3.
You guys know I'm right. It's okay. It's okay.
I'll tell you what.
No.
I'll tell you this.
No,
If it wasn't
listen,
for the-
Jameson Williams might be the most overrated fucking wide receiver in the NFL.
Oh,
I watched
No.
that dude sit his ass on the bench at Ohio State for 3 years. He had to go to Alabama where they can't produce a wide receiver to save their life.
And see, this is
Outside of
okay.
one every 3 years.
He got
One every
transferred from
3
Ohio
years,
State.
they put a guy out.
Yeah.
He
shots
transferred from
fired.
Ohio State. Now we know why Trent's down on him.
No, he couldn't step on the field at Ohio State. They gave him chances. He couldn't make it on the field.
Actually,
And then when he went to Bama, all he did was just run deep at Bama.
his catch conversion rate is also really shitty. He got targeted 91 times. He only caught 58 balls. He's no Pat Fryerman.
I'm telling you, Jameson Williams is overrated. I could easily name probably 3 or 4 guys I'd rather have right now that are realistic options than Jameson Williams.
See, I'm not gonna
Realistic
go there.
options?
Realistic options.
Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Oh, realistic people.
I'm not going to go there. I just think the kid has a gambling addiction. But
He does not have a gambling addiction.
I'm just saying. One doesn't. One does. They both have around the same production last season. So
Yeah, roughly the same.
One season.
No, it wasn't
last-
roughly the same. It was 58,
Was it?
1,000 versus 80 and
Oh.
1,213 touchdowns.
in McLaurin,
Yeah,
correct?
well, but then you compare all the weapons that Detroit had and all the options they had compared to Terry McLaurin was the only guy for Washington. So we got to keep that in mind. I'm not saying Terry McLaurin's a bad receiver. He's a very good receiver. He was the only, well, not the only, but one of the only options the Commanders had last year, whereas the Lions had weapons out the wazoo. So Nick Gibbs and all those guys.
I kind of agree with Shower here that if the allegations were cleared, that the Steelers could. I just don't think they will.
Isaiah Bond. I started reading a little bit about him.
I think he's done.
Rape charges. It's bad. It's bad. I don't think he's getting touched.
He would be outright. He would have to be outright exonerated, and I don't know if that happens before the season starts. He's looking at probably a year out of football.
Yes, you're right, Bond. He'll be on my team. I guarantee you that.
Dave's going to trade TJ Watt for him.
Herbert in a bag of footballs for him.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we can all agree that we need one more wide receiver. I mean, we just do.
Yeah.
Please to God, don't put me Aaron Rodgers and make me watch him throw to fucking Calvin Austin all day long. Please, don't do it.
Better season this year, Calvin Austin or Jameson Williams?
Oh, come on.
With Aaron Rodgers,
I'd give you two Calvin Austin seasons wouldn't combine to one Jameson Williams season this year. I'd give you 2-1 on that bet.
I don't know if Aaron and Calvin have a little chemistry. I see him in that Randall Cobb crossing route kind of role. I think that could really work.
Oh boy.
Or
unicorns and rainbows have gone too far now. Now we've gone too far.
Maybe that's Roman Wilson's role. I mean, if we believe what's coming out of training camp.
Yeah, right. Talk about unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah.
Roman Wilson's the king of the shorts. I'm telling you,
He's
king of football
chiseled,
and
guys,
shorts.
but he looks so chiseled.
Oh, what did freaking Caboli say? A chiseled what? A chiseled something. I was like, are you fucking? What's wrong with him?
The picture.
He says the dumbest shit sometimes.
He's not the only one who's commented that he has transformed his body. That he looks like a.
It's transformed your body, and then I got it somewhere because I retweeted it because I couldn't figure out what the hell he said.
I just no. Just stop.
He's a chiseled freak, is what he said.
Chiseled freak. He should be chiseled. He's 180 pounds.
Right?
Playing in the NFL. You better be chiseled if you're going to be at 180 pounds in the NFL.
Talk about peak Yinzer.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
And Big Pun, I don't think I would. As much as a huge fan of George Pickens, I don't think I would.
I would. I would.
Fucking Vaughn, shots fired. If it's Capoli, I'm chiseled for
Only reason I say that is now I wonder if there wasn't the wink all along and Aaron said, get rid of that fucking guy. I don't want to play with him.
I had heard at the end of the season they were getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Back
no
then.
matter what.
They
were done. Yeah. I think that's true.
And it's a damn shame. I'm still a George Pickens fan, and when he leaves Dallas, I will root for him again.
I understand, and some of the stuff he did is pretty near unforgivable towards the end there. Being late all the time, pulling that shit he did with the Chiefs. That really bothered me. Going cozying up to Mahomes and all them after the game. That really annoyed me. But holy shit, he's a fucking talented dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've gone long enough. We're at an hour and 15 minutes. Anything else before we get out of here?
I'll be on the Draft Professor podcast tonight at 9. We'll be talking
check that
Commanders and Giants, which will lead to some interesting Jackson Dart conversation, I'm sure.
I feel like I should go on there just to defend my guy. But anyway. All right. Thanks, guys, for the chat. You guys are great again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out Ultra GM. Make sure you sign up for that. That's going to be a really fun thing. We'll be back Monday night for more fun and excitement. The Aaron Rodgers era is upon us, guys.
Late.
Well, he's not weird or anything, is he? No, he's totally normal.
I think you should be working at the snack bar. You better relax, Bob.
I mean, normal for us.
All right, let's go. Now you've had enough.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Okay, crazy guy. I'm gonna go home now.